It's super interesting. Cardano is holding up surprisingly well. So, look, Cardano is doing a lot of concerning stuff here. We're losing multiple critical areas of support. $1.50 loss of support. $1.31 loss of support. This white trend line from this wick to this wick extended. Price reactive, even still, loss as support. But we're getting back above these certain layers. But we're running up against this resistance trend line from all-time highs to next lower high here. So for me to start feeling bullish about Cardano, I want us to have daily candles fully closing above $1.30, $1.31. Very price reactive zone. Over here, it was resistance, resistance, resistance. Over here, support, and support over here. And if we go to the weekly, we can see why $1.31 specifically. Several weeks of reactivity off this range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks reacting exactly off $1.30, $1.31. So I think that's the inflection point. Man, looking at this weekly, which closes in 3 days, 9 hours, if we close right where we're at right now, if we close above $1.31, it's actually very, very bullish. Look at that stupidly long wick to the downside. The crash got completely rejected if in the next 3 days, 9 hours, we close above $1.31. So maintaining above $1.31 is critical, absolutely critical. And we're up against resistance right now. So again, just to clarify, for me to be bullish, I want to see 2 daily candles fully above $1.31. And at that point, I could start to feel a little bit more confident about buying back into Cardano.
100%, man. And we're looking here, we're looking at daily. We'll see that volume has been really not the greatest, but then again, you'll see on June 22nd, we had a very, this is just a battle. This candle right here is showing you the battle that happened between the buyers and the sellers. We're seeing that sellers try to push it all the way back down to the dollar, and a lot of people, I guess, accumulated there, pushed it back above. This is the 200 EMA on the daily. We're seeing here that even buyers tried to push it all the way above again. Sellers rejected the price action and actually pushed the price below the opening price. So there were a bit more sellers in the market, a bit more of a bearish sentiment, which we saw has been playing out since May 16th. Again, Cardano is one of those coins that actually held its level pretty well with the whole market dumping. Again, I think it was like 70% of Cardano's actually staked. And again, that's also playing out some sort of that's playing a huge factor as well. But then again, we're not seeing a drop back to the January levels. A lot of these different coins, specifically even Ethereum as well, actually went back down to levels where it was back in January. Except for Cardano. Cardano's still trying to hold solid above the dollar 20, 30 to 40. I guess that's where a lot of that accumulation has been happening. It was stuck in this range for a while, so we do see a lot of accumulation. Then again, you're right, man. Any drop below this accumulation level here is going to cause a lot more panic, I guess, in the market, and a lot more sell-off, specifically for the people that have been in it for a while. Right now, still comfy. For them, I guess it's not comfortable for the people that bought at the $1.50, for example. The people, the newbies, I guess, that came in May, beginning of May at that breakout, and saw Cardano starting to move really heavily, talking about Tesla, talking about but more and more as coming out with the I keep forgetting them with the Alonso hard fork, just paving the way for smart contracts to be implemented. Right now we're sandwiched between these two EMAs, between the 200 EMA on the daily and the 100 EMA on the daily. So between the $1.38 all the way down to the $1.09, where we're trying to get sandwiched right now. Obviously, we're gonna see a bit of resistance at this level over here, the $1.37. We want to see if buyers will come in. But then again, once we see those those candles over here, guys, and we always talk about the same thing. These candles like this indicate that we've been in a downtrend ever since May 16th, since mid-May. We drop back to the bottom and we see something like this. This is a pretty clear indication. It's signaling to the whole market that, look, sellers try to continue. The sellers must be exhausted at this point. We are really down. If we're taking a look at what percentage we're down, we actually went from all the way here, all the way back to the bottom. 60% movement to the bottom. How much selling will there be, right? How much selling do we have remaining in the market? And you'll see something like this after a continued long downtrend. Couple that with the fact that we got to this range over here. You'll see here on those days when when the whole market was actually crashing, see a lot of accumulation. On the daily, we dropped from the $2 all the way back down to the dollar, a whole drop, and we're seeing how we got to this. This is accumulation phase before the breakout we had over here at the $1.50, indicating that a lot of people want to accumulate at this level, especially knowing what Cardano is capable of, pushing at least to the dollar, $2.30, $2.40, and again we're dropping at it right now, and we're seeing more accumulation happen, signaling to the whole market. You see the next day that we have a nice move. So again, majority of the market is following Bitcoin's price action. Cardano is the same thing, but over the past couple of months here, Cardano 100% did perform better than expected, and we're seeing a lot more accumulation than a lot of these different altcoins. So I guess the market is has a bit more appetite for Cardano, but we want to see how much more selling will happen. Are there more sellers here, or are we just going to continue to accumulate? And the same question goes also for Bitcoin. So the Alonso hard fork, they pushed more and more, I think, till August, just to fully deploy smart contracts. We'll see how that plays out, how the market reacts to it. A lot of developers, Cardano has been having those workshops for developers to properly build those decentralized apps on the Cardano network. So we want to see how that plays out, man.
Yo, you gotta stop screaming, man. The noise in this room is far too loud because you're just hitting these people with critical important level after critical important level. So let me ask you, does it make sense to you that we have 100 and almost 200 people watching and only 70 likes?
I'm sad.
Like, how many times can we share the most critical information in the most relevant levels if you want to get some clarity on what's happening with Cardano before we get some likes? Folks, smash that like button. So look,
maybe we're annoying, man. Maybe we're annoying.
Could be it. But you know what? Regardless, we want to keep helping you guys out, perhaps get a greater understanding, or at least get a sense of some of the factors we consider, and hopefully you guys can become more confident investors yourself, and at least more confident in some of the factors people consider when it comes to doing technical analysis and understanding what the current state of the market is. So look, while I do think with Cardano, $1.31 is extremely important because of how price reactive it was. 9 weekly candles off that range. It's a clear inflection point. If we're above that, we're bullish. If we're below that, we're bearish. Now, with that being said, I think you brought up a really good point, which I want to reiterate and really kind of hammer home because I think this is very relevant. While $1.31 is very relevant, as we can see based off weekly candles, 9 weekly candles reacting off it, it is very interesting to note that every time we crash, all the major crashes, all the major dips with Cardano, it all got bought up at the exact same level, which is about $1. Mm-hmm. Market's telling us we really don't want Cardano dropping below $1. Every time we do, we see long wicks to the downside. It immediately gets bought back up. So there's a chance here that if we can't get daily candles closing above $1.31, we could probably come back down and retest this dollar range. And if we start to see daily candles close below $1, I think at that point, that's kind of the last stand. We would have lost all our critical support. We would have lost, and then the downside potential is pretty substantial. And look, there is not a lot of support until like 30 cents, 40 cents.
Oh, yeah.
So losing $1 means that 30 cents is very, very possible for Cardano. So in the short term, most critical levels, $1.31. Aside from that, buyers come in at $1. So if we lose this level, we're going to retest this dollar range, and hopefully buyers come in as it's happened historically. The market's really trying to hold up that dollar range. But if we lose that dollar range, which has been the base layer of support for Cardano, if we actually lose $1 and get daily candles closing below $1, the amount of time and consolidation and retests it would take to get back above, because this is such a clear base of support formed over months and months and months and months. I mean, it's theoretically possible that we'd have to do something similar just to retest this dollar range enough to get back above. Because if we break below this thing, man, the downside potential is substantial, and the likelihood of us immediately breaking back up is unlikely. So again, a daily candle close, not just a wick, but if we get daily candles close in this region, then like we're probably going to retest, breakdown. We would need a lot of consolidation to build up the strength to get back above $1 again. So holding that dollar super critical. $1.31 and dollar are kind of the ranges Cardano needs to hold if we want it to be short-term bullish.
100%. Undo P, man. So yeah, that's I guess